Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the week of December 17th, 2017. This is the reading for the element of water, which includes the sun signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Watch the ether readings first before watching this. The affirmation from ether and that reading combined with this one to give you your elements of spirit for the week. So the ether reading was I accept my desires, I accept what I want. So funny. So I hear, I don't know what I want. What do I want? Moans, right? Wails of the water signs. But there's way more potential than it seems, right? You can want anything. But for you, I accept my desires. I knew it was there. Fun. I balance excessive desire with action. I balance excessive desire with action. So there's something here which just says it's going to be like a wailing wall of a week for us, because for us water signs, because the way that the skies are turning and the way that this retrograde ending and moving into solstice, it just feels like so much happening in terms of like take action and fire, right? Make changes based on what you've learned from the airy retrograde about your, watery Jupiter Scorpio moments. It just feels like there's going to be a lot of emotional consequences for all of the changes that have occurred, are occurring. And it's not just change, it's change, understandings of those change, implications of those changes, and then not just understanding and implications, but the actual new actions that must be taken based on those changes and those implications. So it's a lot of stuff, and I just keep feeling in my heart that every time one of those puzzle pieces falls in, which I do think is going to happen, right, come the 22nd, but as they keep falling into place, it seems like, I've got more understanding, but it just seems like water signs are going to keep feeling, with all of this newness, feeling lots of loss and feeling lots of death and feeling lots of endings, right? Transformation yields something new and releases something old. Some of the death cards in the tarot are called transformation, ones that I love. So the idea here is that, y'all, we are the only signs, maybe we'll see something different with Earth, but the only ones that I've done thus far that are allowed to do stuff during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Between now and the 21st, 22nd, because we gotta do these actions in order to not drown in the overwhelming emotions, so that we can be clear and own what we want, right? So we can be clear about what we want. I accept my desires, I accept what I want. It almost feels like we might lose some of that self-acceptance if we don't act on it this week. So there's just a little bit extra pressure saying, do something about whatever you're turning up. And it could be as simple as writing about it, journaling about it, telling someone about it, doing something about it, making a choice, making a change. Water signs are the only ones that I've spoken today that, based on the advice of the elements, are kind of allowed to go beyond themselves during the first few days of this week in order to stay connected to themselves. Everybody else, it feels more, air and fire, it feels more like there's compartmentalizing that they're doing in order to make, in order to kind of align them with the way the energies are going to shift coming up to once the retrograde pops off. And it almost seems like the rest of the zodiac, or at least fire and air, have to do some compartmentalizing in order to ride the wave of retrograde shifting. And with us, water signs, it almost feels like we have to make some waves and take some actions in order to not get flooded by the retrograde changing. So it's like, if you're feeling pressure based on stuff that you want, it might not be easy to do anything about getting it until after the 21st, 22nd, but you might have to take some actions. So just preliminary action, preparatory action, reconciliatory action, just those sort of like early actions. If you know, so example, if you know you want to get something done, listen to the rest of the readings, and you're probably going to be better off waiting until the 26th to get whatever that is done. But there is this window between the 22nd, 23rd, 24th where stuff opens up, and I was saying to the other signs, there's the potential to get stuff to happen, even though we've been saying nothing's going to happen between now and the end of the year for, the last few weeks. There is potential there, but whereas everybody else is going to be better off playing the cards close to their chest until we get to the 22nd and everything is unleashed, you and I and we are going to be better off doing little things, not trying to do too much, but doing a little something every day to stay in contact with those desires and truths that are inside of ourselves, making peace with it. It's almost like we're only going to be able to make peace with our desires and accept them and own them if we express them a little bit, if we talk about them, or if we write about them, or if we do something about them. Then it's almost like we get that echo. That's the way to program our computer by the 22nd, to build our machine by the 22nd, so that 23rd, 24th, 25th cascades and sort of allows for these intentions, these desires to manifest and come forth. I feel like we are all going to get this Capricorn season a real just pragmatic focusing, but usually Capricorn season to me feels like it's such a great time to get so much done, but I don't feel like doing anything. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of extra mental focus behind Capricorn season this year that's going to allow us to get all sorts of stuff done. So the idea with us is to manage the balance of the emotions, manage the balance of the water. And in order to do that, it's actually not to stay compartmentalized. It's to stay in touch with ourselves through expressing our truths to others, through not playing our cards too close. And you can express those truths through words, through thoughts, and through actions, right? Mostly through words and actions, but thoughts will help. It's just, you're probably going to want to have to like journal those thoughts or write them down so that we're making that connection that is beyond ourself in order to use the magical powers of the moment, right? Solstice, retrograde, going direct, to magically manifest these intentions that we're clarifying through the week by expressing them to ourselves, to another, or through actions. Okay. And then we have our affirmation. I balance excessive desires with action. So really, I wish I had gone back to that. It would have been so much easier. Anytime you start to feel that excessive desire, excessive longing, a desire or compulsion, which sort of pulls you away from a space of peace, or which pulls you away from being clear and accepting of what you truly want. So it's like, if you want to, it's a dumbed down version, but if you want to, lose 10 pounds and be a supermodel, right? If that's your intention, then you're probably gonna want to like not eat a ton of cake over the holiday season. But I'm losing the analogy. But if you, if you want to lose all this weight, like you if that's your intention, if you really want to be skinny, you could want it so badly that you just end up like lapsing and eating everything. The idea here is that if you want to be skinny and you want to be so skinny that you starve yourself, the correct action would be to like eat some almonds or like eat some carrots so that you're not starving yourself and you're not gorging yourself on cake, or like eat with moderation. I'm sorry, that was an analogy that like dead-ended somewhere in the middle of it. But we got to it at the end. The idea is just how to balance the excessive desire with action. It's when you feel it welling up inside of you to the point where whatever you want, whatever you intend, whatever you're longing for is, making you feel crazy or excessive or extreme or hypersensitized or hyperstimulated. You got to do something about it. And you should do something about it. It would be ideal to do something about it before the 21st so that you can, through those actions and through those descriptions and through the stuff that you're talking about, just clarify for yourself what you really want. What are the desires that you accept? And what is it that you want that you accept? So that you're kind of programmed and calibrated for those things to be supported in your manifestation of them, in your choosing of them, in your acting on them once the retrograde turns on the 22nd. Okay? I love you guys. See you next week. Bye.